Let's start up with some e4. You know I like that. And looks like we have knight f3 over here. d4. Why not? Let's go for our open Sicilian here. g6. Here we go. We're playing an accelerate dragon. And let's go bishop e3. I typically do not play this line, but I definitely like it. And here, you know what? We're going to try the knight takes c6 variation with pawn to e5. And then what do we play here? Typically, I guess the move is f4 here. But bishop d4 is even some higher class theory. And now, bishop c4. Knight will typically go to f5 here, and we're going to castle kingside. We keep the bishop on the diagonal because we have to worry about the queen b6 checks. d6 is a very nice move here, trying to mess up the center. And so let's just take, and we'll castle now. Again, a very nice little game that we have here. Question is, does the bishop go to b3 or to d3? Well, I know the rook goes to e1, so let's start off with that. And I guess we're going to play it to b3 as it's going to cover this b2 pawn. Now we're threatening to snack attack over here and just grab a free pawn and attack the rook. So how do they defend against that, huh? Knight e4 might be coming into the future here. d6 pawn's a little bit weak. So they stop the idea there. Let's go queen to d2 here. And the idea is simple. We want to bring over the other rook over to d1. I'm not sure if I'm playing g4 anytime soon, but it's definitely an idea that we can try. d5, knight a4, knight c5. So let's try that out. Knight a4. You can see that this square became very weak, and maybe c3, knight c5. And these pieces are looking quite beautiful. I mean, this is just a great weak square right here. Interesting. Bishop h6. I guess we'll just play g3 and defend the pawn. Not a move that I particularly wanted to play, but we could do that. Oh, interesting. Knight c5 here, I think is perfect timing, right? The knight's coming over here to guard on e4. I almost played something like bishop c5, but that's a tactical solution that doesn't really help out too well. I think it's easy to say that we have a really good grasp in this position. And we'll go bishop d4 here, I think. You know what? Let's play c3. The bishop's already restricted, and I don't want to make any weaknesses here. c3 is a perfect move here. And now the idea is going to be simple. Should I just play like rook e2, rook e3? Let's try rook e3 here. The idea is to go rook e3 and double the rooks. If they do knight to f5, then the rook just goes back to e2. I didn't go e2 because of bishop g4. But with the knight on f5, well, that will definitely change things a little bit. Okay. Looks like they're taking their time here. One of the reasons why I don't really like to play so slow, but hey, hopefully it's giving some time for the thought process for everybody in here. Interesting. I was curious if they're going to try this or not. I guess knight takes on a4 here. Oh, so the idea was there. So I was supposed to take the other way. Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, I just lost concentration there. We'll go queen e2 here. Covering over here. I'm definitely thinking about sacrificing here on e4 in some variations. Yeah, so now they're trying to do that. Should I just take? I definitely don't think it's a bad idea. Rook takes, and then, yeah, this knight just seems a little too strong. Plus, my pieces are so well placed. I don't think it's a bad idea here. Where does the queen go, though? We'll go queen c4. No, bishop b6 will definitely get played. We'll go queen f3 and just say, hey, can you find a better square? Like, they could play bishop g4, and that's probably is best for them. Knight c5 will come in next. Perfect. Now knight a6 ideas. We're coming on e4. Bishop g4 is a good move. I'll go queen to d3. No, not queen to d3. Queen g2. Just sacrificing the exchange for fun and complications for no good reason. Okay. No good square for my rook right now. And that is something I do not like. Let's just... Well, this is the worriedness, right? Oh, we could play bishop c4 here. Yes, bishop c4 I like. The idea really is just to guard on e2. And so they play the simple move there. If they played... Oh, dang, I did miss that move. I did miss that move. I guess b4? No, now they take... Yeah, the position's starting to crumble here. Should I just play h3 here? Let's just try h3 here. Let's see, where would they retreat the bishop to? Another idea that they could try is the bishop to e2. Oof, and I might need to do a coffee run pretty soon. Oh, cool. They just brought it all the way back. And b2 is the problem here. I can't push the pawn up or else this falls. Yeah, I just missed that the rook was going to get too active there. G4 maybe? Yeah, I think at this point I just got to go for attacking ideas. Oh, interesting. Bishop c5. Oh, perfect. Knight to e4 here. And this should be good for me. Knight f6 check and the rook here. I think they just missed the simple move of just queen takes on f4. And then they probably just would have been better here. So here just rook takes is best. Takes. Let's see if they miss it. Queen takes g6 check. I got lucky there. I got lucky. And maybe rook e1 here. Simple chess, threading checkmating ideas. Yeah, rook e1. Let's get our last piece into the game. Bishop takes f7 check is also a threat here. Awesome, awesome. All it takes is one little bad move here, and I'm in the game. I'm in the game. They were definitely a little bit better here, but now not so much. Oh my gosh. Maybe I will have to berserk, guys. I'm sorry. Look at this. We're everyone else's score is going up like crazy. And bishop c5 check looks like game over, right? Yeah, this looks game over. So check. Rook e8 check is coming up next, and they're going to get checkmated. Good game. All right. Oh, I don't know, guys. I'm just too competitive. I'm probably going to need a berserk. Sorry. I don't want to not try to get first place. Oh, man. All right, here we go, guys. Game on. Game on. We're berserking. Although I think it was a nice game. Mind you, I did get a bit outplayed there at the end. He just took the free pawn and punished me. But he made a mistake at the end. Okay, let's go to berserk. So I got 2 minutes versus their 5. Let's go, guys. Let's go. What opening are they choosing here today? Oh, are they not choosing anything? Is my intimidation factor? Nope, they're playing. Here we go. C5. Here we go. Let's see what Sicilian they're choosing. Knight c3. Close Sicilian idea. That or maybe f4 for the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix is what they choose. The fianchetto system is one of the best ways to play against this. Because white's going for strong kingside attacks, we overprotect our kingside. E5 is the best move here. Hopefully they're not watching the stream. Oh, they're watching the stream, obviously. And I've played this a few different ways. So we're going to go d5 here. And if they do go knight b5, which is a good move. Oh, bishop b5 check, not a good move. Knight c6. The bishop, see, this is bad for them because the bishop is one of the best attacking pieces here. Now, in some lines, the bishop is bad, so you will trade off. This is not one of those lines, though. With the pawn already on e5 here. They can't play bishop e3 right away because d4. Let's go a5 here, a4, a3 ideas, bishop a6. This is one of the ideas, is that this bishop is trapped behind the pawn structure. Not a bad idea. Let's go c4. If they play pawn takes here, we're going to go bishop to a6 here. Oh, perfect. They're not... Mixing things up. Pawn takes. And now we're going to go f6 here. Try to open up the diagonal. Now, they are doing a good job for the dark square bind. All right, bishop a6. Tempo on the knight. Pawn takes on e5. Knight takes is actually very good here. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just slowly getting outplayed here, guys. What's going on? Bishop b2 was also a good move here. All right, let's go knight to f5. Okay. Knight c5 is a great move here. As you can see here, it's going to clamp down. You know, another good move here is bishop a3. Because, again, it's all about the c5 weakness. Rook f7. Now I'm expecting them to play to c5. So, okay, f6 is a bit weak, but the point is that this bishop before, well, not that it's not different too much now, is that this is weak right there. Ooh! Nice move here. Knight g5 for there. The question is, do I want to keep the bishop or keep the rook here? And I think we're going to go for this. We're going to go rook to e7 here. Either I lose the pawn or I'm going to lose the rook. Because I could play something like, I don't know, rook over or something. But I'd rather get the dark square bishop. This guy's worth quite a bit here. So let's go queen takes. And here we can actually start a fight, or at least a debate, over this c5 square. So best move here is like rook c1, rook c2. And that's going to put me into some trouble. Oh, you know what? The other move was actually the wrong move order. And we're going to go rook c8 here. No. Knight c5. e6 is weak. How is this working? Oh, you know what? We'll go h6 real quick here. So we have to bump the knight before we bring either the bishop or the rook over. Okay, so c5 I'd love to play, but they have knight there. So what do we do? I guess just bishop b7. When the knight comes to c5, then we'll bring the bishop to c8. This is not something I really could stop. My opponent's just playing very well here, guys. But yeah, the f6 square, as I said, as you mentioned earlier, it is weak, but the point was to try to get this bishop more active. All right, bishop to c8. So this is what we want, because now, although the knight is at a good post, the attack on here is not doing well. Let's go king h7. Just trying to defend right here. Queen a7. Ideas like bishop to f8 are now in the future to try to kick this knight, and also maybe knight retreats over here, because they do have g4 ideas in these kind of games. Oh, interesting. So bishop f8 here. No, because they could just take on e6 here. Dang it. Bishop b4. Does this do anything? I don't think so. Oh, I was hoping for this blunder. Bishop takes on c5. This is not forced. They could have played this a little bit better. I think they just take on e6 there. So I take on c5, but I'm going to win the exchange. But, yeah, I was going to say they still have the good knight versus bad bishop here. So check. Check. Bishop did d7 here. But the knight is definitely superior than the bishop. And I have this backwards pawn here. So now we need to work on this pawn chain to make it weak. So here we go. g5. And a4 might be a move in the future. In fact, you know what? Taking is not a bad idea at all. Because then the rook gets the open file here. I don't know if they'll actually take it, though, because most people here are going to want to keep the pawn chain together, which makes sense. But pawn takes is definitely best here. Oh, again, they're listening to me. Okay, so what do we need to do next? They're threatening rook f7 here. Rook to d8, I guess. No, that loses. Bishop e8 loses. C5. Rook check loses. Oh, losing. All right, we're going to go king over to g8. And what do they play? Rook f7 here? Rook f6? c5? Okay. Not a move I want to play, but it's pretty much forced. Rook g6 check, king over. The point here is really just to get my piece active. So check, bishop c6, a4. You know, loss of a pawn is secondary at this point. It's really just about activity. a4. Of course, I'd love to take here. There's no good checks here. The rook's a little bit inactive here. Pawn takes. Rook over to here. A little bit of pressure there. That's not really the point. Bishop c6, bishop d5 is not bad. And my time's a little bit low here. All right, king g6. They might recheck there, but that's not a big deal. Bishop c6, bishop to d5. So let's go bishop c6 here. And bishop to d5. I'm just going to make sure I don't drop the piece now. All right, bishop d5 is perfect timing here. Thank you for the follow, Trenton. And king to g5 here. Maybe h4 check. King to h5 or king to g4. King g4, why not? Okay, rook takes h2. We're in the game now, guys. We're in the game. The g2 pawn's weak. The b3 pawn's weak. The knight is good. The bishop has just become too active here. Rook here. I don't think there was a threat. Rook takes g3. Really can't be stopped. Technically, I'm winning here. But, I mean, what does that mean here? My time is so low. Okay, rook check. Rook takes. Rook f3. Yeah, here I have to just try to go for trying to draw here. So king f4. I'm assuming they're just going to check me. King e4. Ah, rook f4 check. Ah. Oh man, the time got me. I mean, so they played very well there. My time got low. Obviously, if I had an extra 2 minutes, I probably would have won, but that's okay. That's okay. Why rook to d8 there? I'm not too sure which move you were talking about. Rook to d8. Let's see here. Hopefully our next game will go a bit better. Here we go. We're going to keep berserking, guys. We got to play for the win. We're not. Are we even on the front page here? No. Okay, knight f3. Knight c3. Now we're going to learn about space versus time. I gave away a piece, but I have a lot of space, okay? So space and time here, e5. Also knowing the opening is pretty good. This is the Halloween Gambit, right? For those that don't know. I gave up a piece, but I have a lot of good space here. And look, they already blundered a piece. Knight back, and I still have my beautiful pawns here. And let's go f4. f5 is the next move, but as you can see, the bishop takes. So what do I play next? Oh, they did that check. Not a big deal. If they do want to trade queens, do I trade? I'm not against it. That being said, I'm not going to do it. Bishop e2. Why? Because typically anything my opponent wants to do, I don't want to do. Let's castle. Now f5 is another idea here, right? We're going to push him back here. Perfect. Look at this. And look at the knight is almost trapped here. f5 is a perfect... Oh, and they just resigned? I don't know why. That's definitely not the case of resigning so early, but hey, they did it. They did it. But yeah, that's the concept of space versus material, right? We had so much space that we converted an advantage with it. All right, let's berserk again, guys. e4, c5. You know me, I love to play Sicilians. And let's go g6 here. I've been playing the Accelerated Dragon. I'm still getting good at it. Bishop g7. Oh, interesting. d3. d4 is definitely the best move there. Knight f6. Let's castle. And here, b6 to defend. d5 here. When you play d5 as black in the e4 or e5 openings and in Sicilians, you're equal if not better. Let's grab the bishop pair, because why not? Let's see. Bishop a6. I want to provoke d4. And then we'll bring the bishop back. Trading off would not be helpful to us. I'll play bishop h6 next to provoke e4. Because I'm trying to put pressure on d4. Knight g4 actually works out here really well. Because notice how it attacks the bishop and defends. Let's see if he's a good calculator. But knight g4 is a decent move here. Typically, not usually. And who cares? Because even in the future, I'll be able to play like f5. And kick this knight. I mean, where else is what was the knight's plan here? On g4. Unless their whole idea was to move the knight so they could bring the bishop to f3. But defending this pawn is not so easy, I think. When the dealing's done, got to know when to hold 'em. e5, here we go. The idea here is very simple. I'm putting pressure on d4, so I could just take, right? Okay, queen takes. I don't know what that move was about. Queen back to d7 here. The bishop is eyeing this guy, and they just dropped the piece. Ooh, this is so interesting. I think we actually get away with this. Okay, so queen takes. Now check this out. Rook takes f7, right? Or bishop takes. That's wrong. Okay, never mind. Rook takes f7 was a lot more scary. Money. Bishop g7. Everything's protected, so I'm not too worried about this position. Queen takes b2. Oh, you know what? You do have to be careful. Rook to d1, rook to d7. Things can get a little tricky there. All right, queen takes, rook to d7, knight to a5. So the knight defends. The back rank is pretty solid here, but you should always, be wary of your opponent and how much potential they have here, right? So a little bit of tricks here. Bishop's opened up, and that doesn't do anything. You don't scare me. Work on it. Bishop takes. I think we could just play pawn takes next. I don't see why this is good for them. Oh, interesting. Let's go king takes, because I don't see any good checks. And then, should we just go queen takes g2 here? Let's keep it simple. Queen takes g2 check. By trading off all the pieces, this is going to be a very easy win. They pinned it all on trying to get an attack going. So what do? Simple chess. We just trade off all the pieces, and then all those attacking potential is just gone. Because that was the only way they were going to win in that position. So by taking that away, no winning chances. You know, strong player plays for 2 results, either a draw or a win. And then obviously, if things go wrong, you have actually 3 things that could happen. Well, I'm sorry, 2 things that will happen, either a draw or a loss. So that's what's going on there. All right, we got a 2300, but who cares? Let's berserk. What's the worst that could happen? We could lose an online rated tournament. Here we go, d4, e4. We got ourselves a Caro, and I'm playing the fantasy variation, the fantasy having 2 pawns in the center. c4, this is my own little BS here. Not very good, but I like to play it. Now we're transposing into an mostly like an e5 or French kind of variation here. So I got my beautiful pawn chain right here, which I love to play. It's very good attacking chances here. Funny enough, my opponent's pawn structures hopefully understands these kind of ideas. But I like my position already. Taking here just helps me develop the bishop, although it is a decent idea. Actually, I want to take on d5 here if I can. So let's do that. We're going to take on d5, because either way they take, I'm happy. Bishop to d3. I assume they're going to play the bishop to a6. They're scared of attacks, and they should be. Excuse me. And with bishop a6, we'll just castle here. Even f5 is a move, but we won't do that just yet. f5 is a move we want to play. Ooh. Okay, rook castle first. But h6 is a very weak move. We're going to get good attacking games now. So we're going to go f5 now. Perfect. Queen takes. The new threat is to play f6, messing up the pawn structure here. So, oh, look at that. And if they take, we actually go knight takes d5 here. So again, we're just much better in this position. And here we don't have to think. We play f6 here. This is going to ruin their pawn chain. Pawn takes, bishop takes h6. Look at that. Look at that. Let's go. Let's go rook e1. f7 is weak here. I'd love to play something like knight g5 or knight here. But let's go king h1. No checking ideas or anything. I just need to figure out how to get my queen over here. Can I play knight e5 here? Not yet. So let's go queen d2, queen f4, queen g4, queen h5 ideas. Once the queen gets over there, this is some ouch time stuff. Queen check, queen h5. Like, even if they play b4, the king is just too weak here. So queen check, queen h5. Or is it... All right, knight to e5 here. f7's weak. The whole idea was for them to play the knight to g6. They just got to be careful here. For instance, if knight takes, queen takes, checkmate on g7 here. This is a conversion of space. Just like almost like in the Halloween Gambit game we just played. It was just space, except this time the material is equal. So I just got the compensation for no good reason. And so they played there. Queen check is interesting. Yeah, we go queen check here, I think, right? Rook takes f5 ideas. They got to be very, very, very careful here. Rook takes looks like it's just winning. But I guess we can calculate and do some thinking. Knight takes f7 is also very good here. I don't know. We're going to play rook takes f5 here, I think. This looks too good to be true. This looks good. If pawn takes, queen takes check. Now I have knight takes f7 check, knight takes d7 ideas. Taking here looks really bad. Okay, so knight takes f7 check, rook e3, rook h3 checkmating idea. So I think, dude, what's the answer here? Knight g4 check. Knight check here. The only problem with these variations is that the rook is unprotected. So what's the idea here? Let's try rook e3 here. This looks pretty decent. Pawn takes idea. Rook h3 check ideas. And obviously I'm stopping back ranks. This looks interesting. So pawn takes. Yeah, funny enough, rook takes might be a decent try here. And even just trading off everything here too. Because again, I pinned all my hopes on the attack. So if the attack doesn't work, I'm in some trouble here. Yeah, see, so they're going for that. Rook check. Yeah, I think I have nothing better than to do this. Oh, gosh. I guess I just missed that too, right? Like, my king's just too weak here. Rook takes. Queen takes. Queen check, queen check. Oh, this is not too good for me, yeah. Queen check. Queen check. Queen check and then queen takes. But then queen c1 check here, because they're going to play queen g5. Okay, so knight to e4. I cover on c1, but again, this is not good. All right, let's go h4. Knight g3, knight to f5. I assume they're going to bring the rook over there. Okay, so knight g3, knight f5 check is the idea. You know, a knight and a queen are really good attackers together. If queen e1 check, the king just goes to h2. Knight f5 checks being threatened. Queen f6 is lazy. Knight h5. Queen takes... Let's go knight f5 check first. Because now these are checkmate squares here. Okay. Queen g5 check. Knight takes d4 check. And so here the threat's like some kind of check to win the rook. Queen check. Knight takes, queen takes check, but I'll lose on time here. Dang it! Oh, another nice game. Another nice game. Oh, I didn't realize how much material I guess I had sacrificed there. I definitely feel like there was a win there. But hey, when time's on the line, you can't play so precise. All right, here we go. A d4 game. Knight to f6, d5 over here. We're playing against the Stonewall. Allow me to demonstrate to beat this idea. The idea here is that e4 is very weak. Bishop b5, that's weird. Bishop g4. I guess I do have to worry about this kind of stuff. So let's go queen c7 real quick. If they play queen a4 here, okay, so let's go e6 here. And then we'll bring the bishop back. Bishop d6. We're quite okay here. Bishop to d6 here. Now the threat's to take on d4. Why? Because if they take with the e pawn, we take the f4 pawn. Okay, so they're going for this plan. It's not really that good. We'll just castle. The whole point is that they're trying to play knight to e5 here. But this is not the point of the opening. They've switched two plans together. We simply take, and we're going to play c5 next. We're just trying to mess up their pawn structure here. Again, the whole idea is to do a kingside attack. So we're going to stop it. We're making trades here. We're opening up the position. Pawn takes here is good. We'll play knight to e4 here real quick. The knight looks great here. Funny enough, they might bring the knight back to d2. These guys have a hard time with the pawn structure. And so they're just like, well, I don't want the knight here. Excuse me. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. It was a nice game. You know, these are all for fun chess games. And I believe I was playing by the participating by the rules, if you will. Okay, let's go f6 here. Kicking the knight. And this is another rule. We never take on e5 here because it'll only help strengthen the game for them. Here we went at least a pawn in some of these variations. Knight to d7. Interesting. Um, I wow. Oh, look at that. Bishop e8. Does that work? Look at that. This is called tactiques. Yeah, bishop e8. And then we just take on d7 here. Look at that. Pin it and win it. The queen here is so weird. Okay, so they play pawn takes. What do we do here? Oh, interesting. They played there. I guess rook takes. I don't see why not. Now, again, f4 is really weak. We're going to take on f4. Yeah. Bishop takes f4. The dark squares are very weak here. Queen takes. If they do play the knight to e5, they're going to have to be careful. Because queen e3 check, and as you can see, the dark squares are really weak. I mean, even without it. Check. Knight g3. So they're probably going to play the king to h2. Eesh. Yeah, not a move you want to play, but almost forced here. Bishop b5, a little tempo off the rook. Yeah, this is just a bad position. So check here. Knight takes c5 is the easy move. Which, you know, I'm a lazy chess player. I might just do that. Yeah, let's just play knight takes c5. The real idea is just trying to get the bishop over here. So like bishop d3 or even knight to d3. Yeah, so they did that. Let's go bishop to d3. And then the bishop slides over to e4. And then I think we're happy. Let's go queen f2 check. We always want to have things with a threat. So queen f2 check, the point is that we go bishop e4, and now g2 checkmate ideas. Rook e2 I think is the right way to defend. Although it's still going to be a tough position. Now queen takes h3 is the threat. Knight to d3, doubling up the rooks. This game's all but over here. Queen takes on h3 check. And then we'll play the queen back to g2. I'm sorry, queen to g4 here. Again, we're just putting pressure there. Knight d3, f4 looks great. And of course, bringing your rook over to f8. To be honest, I don't know what that threatens right away. But, you know, bringing an extra piece over here. And as a... Oh, perfect. Knight to d3. It's a free tempo. Knight attacks and like... And, you know, the problem here is the queen has no good squares. Yeah, see, she has nowhere good to go to. You know what? We'll go double the rooks now because I like the idea of not letting them play rook f1 to get rid of some of the defenders. Knight f4 is my next move. Perfect timing. And rook f2 is losing. Knight check, right? So knight takes g2 is going to get played. Oh, looks like they didn't hear me. Check, and then we're going to take. And we play rook takes here, I believe. Yeah, rook takes gets played here for attacking g2 and the queen. GG. Good game. Good game. At least I think it was a good game. All right, here we go. Excuse me, excuse me. Are we on the first page? No, we're not even on the first page. There's only 23 minutes left. This is a non-competitive tournament for us. Here we go. Let's berserk again, and let's go e4 yet again. What do I have to get to? 11. We're one off the page. Oh, it's the Scandi. Knight c3, attacking the queen. d4. Let's get us some more. Knight to f3. Bishop to d3. This is one of my favorite ways to play against Scandi. We're going to play bishop g5 here and castle queenside here. An aggressive take on this. King b1. They're going to go for the attack. That's okay. Let's go knight to e5 here. Threatening over here. And then rook to e1. Now the threat's knight takes f7. They stopped us. Let's go h4. I assume they'll probably play knight to d5. Nope. Let's go knight e4 now. Queen takes e4. Okay, interesting. Let's go g4 here. b3, interesting. Pawn takes, and then a3 here. The whole point, just keep the position closed. We're wanting them to take on e4. Oh, interesting. Pawn takes, and then we'll bring the bishop back to c1. I don't want to make that trade. This is opposite side castling, so this is a very crazy game as things can go. G5 with knight f6 idea. G5. This is why the bishop here is so good. Even if they sacrifice on a3, we simply just... the bishop still defends here. Now the new threat is knight f6 check. Open up this king, and h7 is a bit weak here. Here we go, knight f6 check. And we'll take with the g-pawn here, assuming that they take back. Because we want to open up the g-file. G6, h5. And I don't see any good attacking ideas for them now. Let's go queen g4 here. Queen g5, queen h6. You have to be careful about getting checkmated now. And I don't see any good sacrifices for them. Yeah, I was looking at this. I think we just played queen h6 here and unfortunately just win a piece. Unfortunately. Yeah, let's go. I don't see anything better here, unfortunately. So queen takes, pawn takes, and now I have bishop c4, bishop takes. And I think this is just a good endgame for me, too. Okay. Bishop c4, rook takes, bishop takes b3. This was the point. I don't want to get checkmated. That's the point. All right. Rook e3. We're just guarding. Rook to d7 will be next. And now... Oh, I didn't even realize we were up a piece. I thought we were just surviving here. Rook c7. Bishop e4 check is interesting. I don't know if that's really that great. Rook takes c5. Bishop c2 and takes. Okay. Yeah. Let's go bishop d2, bishop c3 ideas. I assume they'll double up here, and I'll just go king c2. Oof. Yeah, I have to be careful in this situation. Let's go bishop c4. Bishop c3. Everything looks nice and guarded now. But I still got to find the way to get active here. Maybe king c1 so I could go rook to d3. Let's go king c2. Now I still can't play king d3. All right, bishop here. I'm trying to trade this guy off because this check right here. King c3, bishop f3. Okay, bishop f3. Oh, you look at that. I missed it. It's almost checkmating idea. So if bishop takes, we just checkmate here on c8. How funny. Yeah, I don't think there was a good way to stop that. Rook e4. Simple chess. We're just trying to add more and more pressure. I'm not too sure why they played the pawn to c4, but they did. Yeah, funny enough, I sacrificed to them, and now, or I sacrificed against them, and they had to sacrifice back. But I'm the one up a piece for whatever reason. All right, rook over. Rook takes, so they can't play rook to d7. Trying to just double the rooks now. Awesome. That's it. That's game. No good way to stop these back rank checkmate ideas. All right. No, I'm not. Okay. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Yeah. The grind never stops. Oh, look, we're on the first page and we're number 7 on there. That's not too bad, right? Okay. D4, let's berserk first, and let's go knight to F6. Let's keep it simple. All right, D5. Awesome. C5 here. Let's keep it simple. Looks like we have a London system on our hands. Knight over to C6 here. This is the way. E6 over here. Bishop to D6. We're going to fight over this E5 square, which I call these the TLCs, the Torre London Collie. All the same pawn structure, just different squares on where you put the bishop. And that's what we're fighting over right now. E5, well, my game's already equal. Although, this is the debate. Is this pawn weak or is it strong? We shall soon find out in this game. I have more central control, but they have no weaknesses here. He has no weaknesses. They typically play bishop g3 at some point, and I'll just trade here. And I try to go for checkmates on h2. Let's go bishop to g4 here. Queen to d3 is one of their ideas here. Queen takes. Oh, I fell for one of their basic ideas. Let's go pawn to b6 here. And let's see what they play. Again, that d5 pawn is one of the main ideas here. But I'm not too worried. I've got the bishop pair for this. Maybe something like rook a to d8 might be an idea. They're still playing this position here. Plus, I got them outside their opening prep, so let's see what happens. Let's see how good their conversion is. Some ideas here are rook to d8. Bishop takes, so the rook can penetrate on d2. And that'll give me some equal chances here. You know, I even want to just trade here anyways. Oh, well, looks like they just dropped that right away. Bishop takes, queen takes. Oh, God. I take no credit for this game, obviously. That's insane. I take no credit for this. That is insane. Oh, my gosh. That is funny. All right, here we go, guys. Well, with that, we're jumping into the third place here, and we're within striking distance of first place. Who would have known, guys? Who would have known? Berserk. Let's go knight to f6, d5, c6. Sorry, e6. We're playing this nice and solid here. Knight to d7. Oh, we're playing first place here, so maybe I shouldn't have berserk, but just played a good game of chess here. Let's castle. b6 here, bishop b7. This is a nice slow roll. We're going to take here, or else they play pawn to e5. Bishop over to b7. Queen to c7 here. We're looking to play c5 to get an equal game, and I think we get it here now with c5 right away. And let's do it. Knight takes. Bishop takes. And queen takes, knight takes. f6, e5 would be the idea or plan here for me. Okay. Oof. Oof, that's a nice move here. f6, they can kick my knight. So let's go g6. Not a move I really want to play. But yeah, this is not my ideal life. You can see how strong this bishop has become now. All right, well, either I win or I lose. Okay, perfect. So now they helped me out here with f6. I'm trying to close this diagonal. I assume they'll play b4 now, and we'll get our free tempo with like, oh, you know what? We could play rook f to d8 here, and then we could play e5. Perfect timing here. Knight e4 is coming, knight e6. Obviously, I'm not too worried about trades here, as this only gives me the open file. I gotta be careful about knight takes e5 ideas. I'm just looking at that right now. Yeah, it looks like they're looking at that too. All right, let's just make some trades here and try to dilute the situation. I have the queen to d1 check here, so it's not bad for me. And I think they have to just trade here. So queen takes is what I'm expecting. And then at b4, knight to d3 looks really good. So I got a little positional plus here. I'm a little bit better. Whether or not that's going to be able to win, yeah, we'll soon see. Let's see, e4 here, gaining some more space. Knight to d3 is coming into the future. Knight to d2, f5. No, oh good, they didn't play that. Knight to d3 here. This knight looks beautiful. Bishop c5 is coming into the future. Oh gosh, did I just miss knight to e6? I did. Yeah, that's my fault. Okay, well, what can you do? Queen e8. There. The hope is that they'll play f3 real fast here, and bishop c5 check looks a little bit annoying. I don't think it's winning, but it looks annoying. And in this life, what else can I ask for? Bishop c5 is still going to be a good move in the future. The knight is definitely the best piece on the board, but with some good pawn trades here, it can definitely be bad for me. All right, f5, just trying to keep it solid. Bishop c5 check. Time low, bad in position. I'm smelling a comeback. Knight f4 almost works here. Let's go king f7. Okay. Queen c7. Maybe they'll play pawn f3 here. I don't see why they wouldn't play f3 there. It makes sense to me. Let's go queen e5. Pawn takes. Rook check. King e6. No, king g7. And bishop c5 looks like a decent idea. Oh, dude, I did miss that. Bishop d6. Queen check there. How annoying that this bishop's guarding on h6. How annoying. Let's go queen to d6, I guess. I'm just trying to cover this square. Oh, God, did I just drop the pawn on e4? Yeah, I just dropped the pawn for no good reason at all. Oh, God, I'll call that game. Good game. Ugh. I blundered in that one. All right. Let me see. All right, here we go. e4. Knight to f3. d4. Let's hit that centaur. Knight takes. Knight c3. And again, like last time, I'm going to try to play that other line, the modern variation of bishop c4 here. And actually, we'll play bishop c4 here. Oh, I forgot to berserk. And I need to berserk. All right, let's castle. Queen a5 is an interesting move, but not the best here. Dang it, dang it. I need those extra points too. We play h3 here to stop knight to g4. But basically what we're doing in this variation, the modern variation, is really just trying to restrict black's play. a4 here. f4, f5, even just queen e2 here I think is good. Rook to d1 here. And the reason, well, let's see. Yeah, I think we still play the rook over d1. And some basic ideas is like the Marazzi hop knight to d5. You're hoping that they'll take, and then this pawn will be backwards on the e file here. You could also do the aggressive plan of f4, f5 here too. Okay. Let's go f4 here. Queen b4 is interesting. I don't... Maybe I'm missing a tactic here or something, but let's go f5. Bishop g5. The idea, take on f6, go knight to d5 here. Knight c4 is interesting. Okay. Knight to f3. Let's go back bishop to e3. Okay, so then I'm not going to play. I don't blame him. Pawn takes. Queen over to f2. A little bit of pressure over here on f7. Knight c4. And I'll bring the bishop back to c1. Bishop d2. A little bit of pressure on the queen here. Knight to d5 here. Looks really strong. I think this works. Attacking the queen, not with the bishop, but the knight here too. So at least win the exchange here. So this should just be winning. Woo! Okay. Knight takes e7, check. Oh, look at that. Queen h4 check is really nice here. Do I just play it simple? Queen check there, then they have the other thing. Yeah, just knight takes here. Queen check here if the knight takes on e4. Bishop c3. Queen h4 check. Okay. Rook e1, I guess. Defending the pawn. Pawn takes. Queen h4. Threats to take on f6 here or something. Rook takes. They might have just missed that easy move. Queen takes. Okay, this is just game over now. Bishop takes. Oh, look at this. Knight e6 move. How beautiful. Knight e6 and knight to f5 here. It looks really nice. Let's do knight f5. Does knight e6 matter? Knight e6 or knight f5 here. Because there's a queen check there, but I don't think it matters because I play bishop d4 or knight over. Let's go knight to f5 because it looks cooler. Technically, I think knight e6 is supposed to be better because there's no c5 check at all. That was a nice game. That was awesome. All right, let's not forget to berserk. Although it really doesn't matter at this point because there's only 4 minutes left and my opponent has more than 5 minutes. So if they berserk, it is competitive. Although they can still get the time odds on there too. 21 points. I'm not even sure. I mean, I think I'm definitely out of it for the time odds. All right, c4. We're playing a French over here. The Monte Carlo variation. Bishop d3 will take. Rook e8 check typically gets played. Bishop e3. Knight to d7 typically gets played here. Knight to d5 is also another move if they want to play. Bishop f4, that's okay. We'll just castle. Knight to e5 here if they take the pawn. Now f7's pretty weak here. Okay, bishop e6 can get played. Maybe knight g5 was a little bit more precise here. Bishop takes. Queen b3. Attacking on e6 and b7 here. Let's see what happens. Queen takes d4 is not check. So they just get checkmated themselves here. So queen takes b7, queen takes on e6. Is there a way to defend both? Queen c8, I guess? Yeah, I guess I could just play queen c8 here. Kudos to them for taking their time and not losing concentration here. It could be very nerve-wracking. So they're doing a good job on that. Oh, that reminds me. Let's pop some pills. There we go. Popping some pills. They play a good move, nice and safe. Knight g4, rook takes, knight g4. Is this fun? It's fun, but is it good? Two different concepts altogether, right? Let's go rook to d1. Just simple move, developing, looking at their time. Knight c4. Knight to d6 idea and attacking the rook. Rook to d3 was a little bit annoying here. Okay. Rook takes is interesting. Knight e4, knight e5. Should I just go for a good endgame here? King h2, queen c7. Let's go knight to d6 here. Queen takes b7 idea. Oh, look, I missed that. After queen to d7, we actually have knight e4 here. Oh, but that's bad. Let's go queen takes. We'll just go pawn grabbing here. Knight a5, knight takes on c6. Oh, no, I did miss that. Because now rook takes g2 and this rook's hanging. Aw, man. Oh, rook f3. Only move. Defending both. I got lucky on that one. Not losing any... Oh, God, I am losing something. King h1. Terrible play. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, on to the next one, I guess. I'm fine, but my dog runs away. I don't get angry at the bills I have to pay. And in my mom's spot. It's the bottom to the rise to the rock. Fight it, it's all the same. What is it the same? Let the lovin' come back to me. Knight takes c6, doesn't do anything. Rook g3 check. Knight e4. Let's go knight e4 here. Threats knight takes on c6 with knight e7 check here. Now I'm threatening a checkmate. So they can't take right away. This was the hope, at least. Actually, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So like h6 or something? Okay. Knight check. King h7. Let's try this check out and see what happens. Knight c3, attacking the rook again. Okay, d5. I think knight g3 check is just good there. Knight takes. Takes. Rook over. Rook check, king over. Rook f7 with the knight f6 check threat. Ah, just checkmate in one. Dang it. Ah, good game. Good game.